again. Boston Calling 2017, Day 3. It is RadioBDC, Adam 12. We're live from the Miller Lite broadcast tent, sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts and powered by CTP. And 1/3 of the Hotelier is here. It's Christian. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm very good.
You guys played earlier. How was the set?
It was very good. It felt really good.
It sounded great.
Yeah, on stage it sounded really good too. Yeah.
Is that the biggest crowd you've ever played for?
Probably not.
Okay.
But it was big enough. Yeah, it was nice.
Do you prefer big to small, or are there benefits to both?
There's benefits to both.
Okay.
You feel like a freaking rock star when you're playing to a lot of people.
Right.
But there's like room for definitely intimate, more smaller sets. That's like a room packed full of people.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
Yeah, and again, like it's different energy too, because if you're playing a small room full of people that like know every word of every song that you guys play, that's a different sort of experience than playing in front of tens of thousands of people. Some of which do, but then people are just like stoked to be outside watching rock and roll music.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah. All right. So just yesterday was the 1-year anniversary of the release of Goodness.
Yes, it was.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
How's the year been? Kind of touring on and promoting that record.
Yeah, it's been pretty chill. It's a record that we really loved and was like maybe a little bit of a step in a different direction or whatever. But it's been good. All the shows have been good. We've met a lot of people, a lot of new artists, and I don't know, just another year playing music, traveling and playing music.
It seems that you guys in your few years of existence, not few, but in your years of existence, you've definitely become a band that that other bands and people that are kind of with in the music community champion you. Like I remember hearing about you before I actually heard your music and hearing positive things saying you got to check out the Hotelier. I mean, back before it was just the Hotelier and not the Hotelier. That's got to feel good, and that's got to maybe give you guys like a little bit of a boost too, right?
Yeah, certainly. I don't hear it maybe as much as other people do because no one tells me to listen to my own
I'm telling you right now.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
That sounds really nice. That feels kind. Yeah, thank you.
I want to ask. I always try not to make it a Q&A and ask questions that you've probably been asking a million times. But when you have an album cover like you have on Goodness, it's something that we have to talk about. If you've not seen the album cover of the Hotelier's Goodness, it is a group of nudists. It looks like from a nudist community.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
I call them angels.
You call them angels? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So how did you come across these angels, and how did you conceptualize and then execute the shooting of this album cover?
Yeah, it was an idea that I had that I wanted to, so like we already knew the album name was going to be Goodness, and I had sort of like thought like, okay, how do we capture this? How do we involve nakedness and like the idea of transparency without associating it with like sexuality?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we live in a world where nude, older bodies are seen as undesirable, which allows us to sort of also use them to represent a sort of nakedness and transparency without a sexuality. And they were all just really, really sweet people that we met through Craigslist and through word of mouth otherwise, yeah.
That must have been a fun thing to do. It's just kind of like, all right, how do we go about getting the right people on Craigslist? Because we all know that there's a seedy underbelly to Craigslist. So it's like sending some messages out and getting some back. Like, that's not really the vibe that we're looking for, but thank you.
Well, I had made an ad that had featured like a naked cherub in the ad, so that I was like trying to represent this is not going to be sexual.
Right.
It's going to be nude but not sexual.
Right.
And it was a really funny experience. Yeah, I brought them all over to my parents' house the night before, and they all slept over
That's
as
tremendous.
well as the camera crew. So we all slept at my parents' house, and then at like 4 a.m. went into the woods and started shooting as the sun came up. It was a very funny experience.
Well, good for you for putting so much thought into the album cover and having it be representative of something that you think is important as well. I mean, that's because I'm always thoughtful of that. Like a lot of times, especially if a band is early on in their career, an album, like the cover of the album, even in a digital age that we live in like this one, that's the first impression that you get of a band. So, you got to put some thought and some time into it.
For sure. Yeah, I think that we had an idea for the last record for Home Like No Place Is There. It's a house with the album name scrawled across it.
Yeah.
And I just thought, we have to continue this theme. We have to continue putting out good album arts. We can't just like put some green and then some text over it. It's got to be sort of the same sort of idea, just like a photo. Just like a photo if there's words incorporated into it, then that's good too. But we didn't want to put text over it, and we just wanted to have a striking image and one that we thought felt good with the album.
It's provocative, but in the right ways.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. We're going to be talking more about this later because the guys from Pup are going to stop by. And
Perfect.
you saw their album from last year. It's got
Yeah.
the couch on fire with the person sitting on it. I want to know if that literally happened. Did you have all right, listen, here's the deal. You're going to be on our album cover, but we're lighting a sofa on fire. So we're going to have to. You're just going to have to sit there for maybe 10 seconds while you snap, and then you can go so you don't caught on fire.
No,
well, Christian, thank you again. Congratulations on a year of goodness and on playing Boston Calling. Well done, man.
Thank you very much.
It's Radio BDC.